Hey, I'm so glad that you're here. Why don't we have a discussion on union today? And so I've prepared 3 piles for you. Pile number 1, 2, and 3. And pile number 1 is passion. Pile number 2 is dreams. And pile number 3 is serenity. So take your time, choose your pile, and I will see you over there. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading about union. And you felt drawn to this passion card. And actually for your pile, 2 cards came out. Passion and faith. And I think that that is a really beautiful combination. Maybe for you, you're looking for union, you're single, you're feeling a lot of desire for the experience of union, and so Spirit is kind of like indicating, have faith, because that is an experience that you will get to have. Having passionate desire, there's nothing wrong with that. And when you can allow divine timing to take place, it brings steadiness, because we all know that passion can lead to impulsiveness, and then suddenly you're not really clear on your direction. You're just kind of impulsively choosing, and it may not be actually what you want. And so when you allow for divine timing, and you allow kind of just to steady yourself in that patience, having faith that you will get the chance to explore your passion and let it grow, it brings steadiness. And then you can enjoy that passion without any of the pain of impulsivity and just making decisions that are actually out of line with what's in your heart. Very beautiful pink on this card. And the wings are clear. Yeah, the wings are clear. Having a clear mind in the midst, having a clear mind in the midst of your passion. That's what this faith card is encouraging you toward. So, let's get more information on your situation and what Spirit wants to say to you with regard to union. These are new cards and a little hard to shuffle. Okay, Spirit. What is your message to pile number 1 with regard to union? And what they can expect next, and any kind of guidance that they may need for what is coming next. Oh. First card that came out, Death. Okay, what else? What else? Pile more one. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Got two cards that came out together. King of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Oh. Let me see that. Kind of. Here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. To me, this is very clear, okay? The old has to be cleanly dropped with the Death card here. You know, essentially putting to death what was past. Your past experiences, your past heartbreak, those past people. Is it possible for you that there's someone that was in your life that is no longer in your life, but you're still holding on to those memories, to those experiences that you had with them, to the way that they treated you, the way that they were? And you know, we all know, I mean, not everybody is the same. And yet we do struggle. It's pretty easy to struggle with kind of ending up projecting those past experiences on new people, just expecting that, you know, they're going to be exactly the same. And, you know, that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Sometimes when we're in a cycle where we're caught up in a story, we attract those same kind of people, and we attract those same kind of situations that bring about those same experiences, you know? And that's why the Death card is here. It's to encourage you to put it to rest. That story that you have been telling yourself is keeping you from experiencing this passion that is within you, this bright, pink, and beautiful passion within your heart. It's keeping you from experiencing that. Right? Because every time you meet someone new, it's crap, it's the same situation. How did this happen? You know, and it's what you're attracting because of the story that you're telling yourself. It's how you look at yourself and how you look at life. How can you begin to see who you are outside of that story? You know, we definitely always talk about as within, so without. So first things first, you've got to get in there and start clearing out. You see this scythe here, you know, gigantic, right? Big enough to clear out all of the things that are hidden within you that keep causing the repetition of that experience that you have with people, with relationships that you're seeking an experience of union with. And when we talk about union, we're always going to be talking about, always, a union within first. If you're constantly against yourself, if you're constantly at odds with your nature, the way that you do things, maybe even how you look, how you speak, if you're constantly in inner turmoil, you will constantly be attracting that in relationships. And if you're here, you know that. And that's okay. We need reminders. We need confirmations to help us steady ourselves on the path. Because thoughts and ideas and memories come in and knock us off with confusion, with emotional upset, especially the memories that remind us of those really upsetting experiences that we went through. That, yeah, we got through it, but man, it really sucked. And so we need those constant reminders, and it's okay. Here I am again to remind you. The only way to have the union where your full passion can be expressed and explored is to first get in union with yourself. How can you stop being at odds with yourself? What are the stories that you're telling yourself about who you are, about what you deserve? If you have all of this passion within you, don't you deserve a safe relationship that allows the exploration of that passion without judgment, without condemnation, but in total freedom? Don't you deserve that? But if you're telling yourself stories about how you're not good enough, you're not worthy of the best kind of love, kindness, compassion, understanding, and you don't even give those things to yourself anyway, then again, this passion cannot be explored because you will always continue to attract to yourself those same kind of experiences. And when it's all that we know, it's hard to look in a different direction. Absolutely. It is so hard to look in a different direction when all you know, are abusive relationships or people that don't understand you, And if you're a passionate person, you need that understanding in a relationship in order to feel free enough to continue to be able to express that passion fully. And if you don't have that understanding, man, you're going to feel uncomfortable. And if you've never had that understanding, if you grew up in a home where you were kind of the odd one out and no one saw the real you because they couldn't really understand you and the way that you did things and the way that you were, then how are you going to imagine that you could have understanding in a relationship and that you're deserving of it, right? That's hard. So I'm here to let you know that of course you're deserving of understanding in a relationship. Of course you're deserving of freedom and safety in a relationship. You're deserving of freedom and safety within. And you're deserving of being able to express your passionate self fully, without hindrance and without judgment. You're deserving of that. And when you start to put to death these kinds of stories and ideas about yourself and about life and about relationship, that's when the new beginning comes in. And this is Ace of Pentacles, okay? It's Ace of Pentacles, which means this is something that can actualize and materialize into form for you, right now. In other words, as you release this, it brings this closer and closer to manifesting into your reality. And what you get to manifest is someone who is on par with you, someone who is emotionally available and balanced, someone who can understand you and who can offer you equal passion, a passionate understanding and response in balance and harmony. And the Wheel of Fortune being here just indicates that, look, this is on its way. Remember that the laws of the universe require a swinging back. You may be on one side of the pole, the negative pole. You've experienced a lot of negative relationships or difficult times, but it must swing back to the positive side. That is just the nature of things. And so that's why faith is here, to encourage you that, look, as you let go of these stories, as you let go of these beliefs about yourself and about the way that relationship is. And yeah, I understand that, if you did not grow up experiencing true love, from your parents, from your family, from your siblings, or anyone else in your life, you're going to have those stories. You're going to have those beliefs that are so ingrained in you that you don't even know they're there. And I get this feeling that you're trying to think that, crap, I have so much work to do. Yeah, of course it's deeply ingrained in me. What do you expect with my situation? It's going to take me my entire life to pull this out and release it and put it to death out of me, clearing it out of me. So, what? I'm never going to actually realize this into form because it's just going to take me forever. And I want to encourage you. The Wheel of Fortune is here, okay? So, even though it is important to get this cleared out, in order for the stories to change, in order for you to start to attract towards yourself new things, even the smallest attempt, and we talk about this a lot, your small effort given every day consistently will bring fast beneficial results. So even just your willingness to take a look at these things is all that's needed. And the fact that the Wheel of Fortune is here definitely indicates that you're not going to have to wait like your whole lifetime before you could actualize this relationship that you're seeking for into being. Just be willing to look at those stories. Just be willing to look at those beliefs that you hold about yourself and others. Just be willing to kind of take a step back from those memories. Do you have to keep rehashing them? Do you have to keep holding on to all of that pain? Do you? Isn't there a concept of worthiness that you could take on that says, I don't have to suffer anymore. I don't have to keep reminding myself of the pain that I've been through. I can let it go. I deserve to let it go so that I can have this King of Cups come into my life, because I deserve someone who is emotionally available, loving, compassionate, and understanding. I deserve that, because of course you do. Silly. Of course you do. You're more than deserving. So have faith. Let's see, is there anything else besides what we discussed for pile number 1 to, let's see, a card? I pulled off the deck and a card was left. There's that. And then there's also, I don't know if you can tell, there's also this card I'm going to take. Let's see if we can get like just a little bit further guidance. 8 of Pentacles is at the back of the deck. So what more guidance can we get for pile 1? Just to bring in a new kind of relationship that can end this old cycle. So we have the 8 of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. Keep up the hard work. Be patient. And stand in the truth. Keep yourself clear and balanced about who you are and what you want. And, we talk about the hard work, not in being something that's overwhelming. Don't overwhelm yourself. But in something that you want to do because you want to experience something new. So you're just putting in the effort every day, consistently, to do your best to pull off those mindsets and beliefs that keep attracting to you what hurts. In a patient way. We talked about that with, the passion and the faith. The best way to get something that's solid and stable is through steadiness and patience. Put in the work and stand your ground through it. Be patient through that process. Okay? Have some faith that the little effort that you put in is enough. And as you keep yourself clear in who you are and in the truth about that, in the truth about what you deserve, okay, it's going to bring this about much faster, much faster. Don't be disheartened. This is life. Helping ourselves to get clear, to get out of the darkness and the heaviness is our life. And it's kind of like, If you have passion in your heart, you yearn for union, then it's meant for you. And so it will come. But your focus needs to be here. That's why we have faith here, to help you know that it is absolutely coming. We see the Wheel of Fortune. It is absolutely coming. So no worries. You don't need to be concerned. All you need to do is keep your focus. Heal those wounds, release them, face the fears, and face the difficulty that you have in seeing yourself as worthy. You're not alone. When you have to face these things, it feels like you're alone. Heaven is here to support you. That's why you found this message. Heaven is here to support you. They see the work that you're doing, and they praise you for it. Because when anyone is just willing to take a look at the dark things holding them down, it's a celebration in heaven. Because that means more and more can you find yourself in the light, the clouds being finally parting away to where you can see the sun and see the clear sky and know the truth. The truth about who you are, the reality that is life. And the reality of life is love. And maybe all of this is confusing. So I will just end on the note of steady does it. One foot in front of the other, have faith that you will get to experience a wonderful relationship where all your passion and all that you are is beloved, embraced, and celebrated, because you deserve that. So hang in there, my friend. It's not as dire as it may feel right now. And in time, you'll see that. And sometimes these messages can feel upsetting. But that's only because you're not seeing your full magnificence. The more that you just steadily go after this, the more you'll see that these words and these messages are given with respect and love to the magnificent being that you are. Because you deserve full freedom and complete love. Deep, deep, deep within, all the way out. So I wish you all the best with this. I believe in you. I know that this is overwhelming, but I believe that you have what it takes to steadily, step by step, get through it. And trust when Spirit says that this relationship, this beautiful relationship, is on the horizon. Because it is. So I leave you with hope and courage. You got this. I'll see you next time. Hello, pile number 2. So you chose the Dreams card. It's such a cute little dragon butterfly. Golden. Perched upon what is called a royal fern. So, and the gold and, the royal, right? It's like your dreams are, how would you say that? Like, worthy of royalty or are royal? Hmm. You are royalty. And that's why your dreams are so royal. You ever thought about your dreams that way? What do you really want? And this little dragon butterfly is clinging to the fern. And well, maybe that's you. So what is your message on union? Let's get some more information from some tarot here. Find out, what is your message on union? Are you clinging to your dreams? Let's see. Oh, we got 2 cards. Okay, first of all, let's see what these cards are. Okay, oh, interesting. 5 of Pentacles. And then the Knight of Cups. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's see what else we can get. Okay, what is it? 10 of Swords. Let me get a clarifier for the Knight of Cups. Let me clarify the Knight of Cups, please. The Lover's card. Okay. What's up with that? Queen of Swords. Yeah. Yeah. How interesting. It looks like you're definitely feeling like left out in the cold. I mean, look at all of the snow. She's perched outside, literally sitting on snow. Wishing, all right? It's like this dream. Wishing for her dreams to materialize. And so that's the center here. The dream is, you know, this Knight of Cups to be in union with someone that you love. And maybe with the Ten of Swords it ended. painfully. Or maybe, it has to do with how you can never quite get there, right? If I'm reading with the Five of Pentacles, lack. You can never quite get to this experience of union, joyful union, two hearts beating as one. And that's your dream. To have heart and heart, mind with mind, united. And with this Queen of Swords on the bottom, maybe you felt like you have to hold yourself away from your emotions and be very like cold, right? I mean, you're sitting in snow in a wintry cold scene because you've never had the chance to experience what you dream of, the kind of love, the kind of union that you dream of. And it's like, well, if I dream of it, couldn't it exist? Couldn't it be real? Absolutely. So what does it take for you to experience that? Let's see if we can get you some encouragement. What does pile number 2 need to know with regard to how to achieve or how to get into the kind of relationship that they dream about? I got Justice. The Ace of Wands. Let me try one more. Oh my god. Can you see that? Okay. Oh my god. These cards are slippery. So whether or not this Ten of Wands refers to like how burdened you feel with regard to this dream of yours, because it could be other burdens that you're carrying as well with other life circumstances. Yeah, it's like release those burdens. You see the light being poured down into her head. And we were talking about, this Queen of Swords, like always just sort of being rigid and logical and not really entering into your heart. So, with Justice, there does need a balance. A balance needs to take place here, being rigid and logical is not going to get you to fulfilling your heart, because your heart doesn't follow logic. And that can be uncomfortable because it's like, you want to be stable and steady minded and not, go off into Delulu land. And that's why balance is required here, because it's like, yeah, keep yourself clear in your mind, but don't keep yourself from your heart. And that really is kind of what makes me think that the Ten of Wands is you being unwilling to listen to your heart. If you're unwilling to listen to your heart, you're gonna start to feel burdened. It's gonna become heavier and heavier because your heart wants what it wants. And no amount of logic is going to dissolve that. I think that's why you had this dreams card, because it's a call to listen to those dreams. This dream card, it's clinging to the royal fern. And it's like, it's calling you to really actually look in at your dreams, at your heart, and not rigidly push them away because you don't think that they could happen, or it just doesn't seem logical. Well, I mean, if that's the case, then of course you're going to be experiencing, Ten of Swords and Ten of Wands, both of these, right? And you're going to be experiencing the feeling of lack and pain and burden, right? Because your heart wants what it wants, and it deserves the chance at being seen and at being honored. And I think that's what this Ace of Wands is all about. It's about looking at what's in there and keeping that flame lit, letting that flame grow. Being too cold, being imbalanced, is going to hold this back from you automatically. So where can you kind of take a look at where you're being a bit too rigid, where you're being a bit too logical, where you're kind of explaining away what your heart desires and kind of saying, oh, that's nonsense. Oh, that could never work. Oh, I could never have that. And then how can you kind of stop and look at it with openness? When you're willing to give the flame in your heart, which are those dreams, those desires, a chance to grow, it feels so freeing and so exciting because there's hope. There's a chance that you could actually have what your heart is yearning for. And I think that's what Spirit's really wanting to discuss with you today is, kind of what I was saying in the beginning, union with yourself, union with your dreams, which are in your heart. Instead of looking outside and saying, yeah, well, I wish for this and this and this, and I don't see that possible with the way that people are or with the way that, life is, you're dismissing your heart. There's an imbalance there. You're completely disregarding what you desire because you have to explain it away, because you have to find some kind of logic to it. And not approaching things with logic is scary. There's a lot of unknown there. And again, I get it. You don't want to be delusional. You don't want to, be crazy and put yourself into a kind of situation that just, I don't know, ruins your life or whatever. But come on, really? I think that that line way better than you want to believe. And I think that what's in your heart even though it may seem impossible, you know that there's a level to it that could be real or could be possible because it's there. You're desiring it. And instead of allowing logic to explain away your heart and then cause you this pain, this burden, this feeling of lack, it's time now to get yourself in balance and take a look at the flame that's there and explore with your own mind. Like, you know deep down what is insanity and what is sanity. And so like there needs to be a level of trust within yourself. There needs to be a level of, okay, I know what I'm doing, and I know, how far this is going with regard to reality or not. And you need to trust that. You need to sit in with that and have that faith enough to look in at your heart and see what's there without logic getting in the way, so that you can explore it and find the way that feels safe and comfortable to you to let that flame grow. You know how to make yourself safe. You know how to make yourself at ease. But by ignoring your heart completely, you're only bringing yourself into torment and suffering. You're only forcing yourself to live in this cold world without the love and the fulfillment that you yearn for. That's, within your precious royal dreams. And I think that we brought that correlation with the royal to help you kind of look at your heart as being that valuable, at the dreams within your heart as being that precious and magnificent. They're royal. You need to look at them like that. You need to start to see how valuable you are and what you desire is. And you can trust yourself. If you have the skill to temper yourself to that degree where you're holding yourself off from this love that you desire, because you want to be logical, you want to be clear, you want to be following what's true and real, then you can trust yourself to comprehensively and logically address your dreams without going off the deep end. Of course you can. This is who you are. You're the Queen of Swords. You've got it. You're not Delulu. You're not off in emotional world. So you can trust that you can take a look at that flame within your heart, those dreams, and you're not going to just throw yourself into some kind of whirlwind craziness that, ruins your life. You're not going to ruin your life. Your dreams are not going to ruin your life. They're going to bring you into balance and bring the justice that you have craved, because your heart being ignored needs justice. Justice that only you can give, that only you can bring by just looking at it and having the courage to address it. So, for pile number 2, if they follow this guidance, what can they expect the outcome will be? What can they expect would sort of follow next? Yeah. There's 3 of Cups on the back of the deck. Yeah, so, you can expect that there's going to be a transformation. A transformation in your experience, a transformation in yourself, and that movement forward. We see the sun is coming up. The warmth is returning. Transforming from the cold, dark world that you've been living in. Finally, you're starting to see the light and starting to feel the warmth and getting the chance to celebrate. Getting the chance to experience what that feels like. And this is like a celebration within your heart, within you. Finally, and I can just feel it, like your heart is bubbling up. Yes, they finally looked at me. They finally addressed my desires, and they're moving toward achieving it. Hell yeah. There's such a warm sense of delight and joy, and you will feel such delight when you give the willingness to take a look at what's in your heart and see how you can achieve it. And achieving your dreams is absolutely going to take time, and that's how you can keep your logic and your sensible mind, because you're going to take your time with it. But just by addressing it, a deep transformation will take place. And you're going to start to feel warmth again. And you're going to start to feel inner peace and joy again. Delight. And you deserve that. And I might add that in experiencing that inner delight, it's going to pour out into your outer world. And whatever you've been yearning for will be well on its way to coming into your life and lighting up your world and bringing you deep joy. It's a good thing that you're the Queen of Swords. That's a really good thing. Keep your head on straight. Absolutely. But don't be imbalanced. Allow the self-trust with your emotions, with your heart. Because you have to have both for a balanced and fulfilled life. And you're going to start experiencing that. You're well on your way to experiencing that. So you've got this pile too. I'd say congratulations, because you are headed there. And those dreams of yours are beautiful and worthy, and they are going to start coming true. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that encouraged you and gave you enough understanding to move forward where you felt blocked. I'll see you next time. Okay, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You felt drawn to this Serenity card. Very beautiful. Yeah, very nice. I guess I'm drawn to how it's woven in around this lavender. And lavender is very calming, very peaceful. kind of getting yourself caught up in all manner of peace and calm. Wrap yourself up in coziness. So, what is Spirit's message on union for pile number 3? Let's find out. So, what would you like to say, Spirit, to pile number 3 about union? What is your message to pile number 3? On union. We got the 6 of Cups and the 2 of Wands. And the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, the way that she's holding this cup with such care. It's like the same way that those coins are being held. So clearly there's something that you deeply care about. And it's like she's walking through a gateway into the light. Queen of Pentacles is on the back of the deck. Living in the realm of her dreams. And, again, still holding. So there's something that you're holding, something that you care about deeply. And you're working towards it. You're putting in the effort. And it could be something, like with the 6 of Cups, that you've always cared about since you were a child, or that you've always dreamed about since you were a child. And you're steadily working towards it. We have the Serenity card. The Knight of Pentacles was underneath the Queen of Pentacles. Bring that out as well. There's such a sense of slowness and steadiness and peace in this pile. And, I don't know if you're feeling that way or not, but that's the energy that's coming forward. There's so much slowness, there's so much peace and care, like slowly and carefully and caringly working on something. And so we know that something is something that you care about deeply, is something that, you know, had to do with childhood in some way, or something that you've long cared about. Is there any further information we can get about this for pile number 3? What is this thing that they care about so much? There's 2 queens. You got 3 queens here. Just missing the Queen of Wands. For some reason, I feel like, are these your daughters? And you know, it doesn't have to be. Just the way that they look, and kind of just like the energy of how it feels, you know, something that you deeply care about. And since this is a discussion on union, you know, this could very well be discussing family. Let's find out. Let's kind of clarify that. Is this talking about family? For pile number 3. Can I get more information, please? On number 3's situation. This card 2 is pile. Oh. A few cards that came out. Jeez. Okay. Well, maybe for some of you, one of your, like, what you care about is your family. Absolutely. But let me get some more information. What is the 6 of Swords? Sorry. 5 of Wands and the Emperor. Yeah, like, I got this feeling that the 6 of Swords was like you leaving your family behind. Or leaving behind turmoil, strife, toxic, like toxic authority that you've had to endure. And you're leaving that behind to embark on establishing what you've always really cared about. Holding 2 things. Holding 2 things like the 2 queens. Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups. Well, what's really amazing, because, we had that Serenity card, and then we see this Temperance. It's like, whatever you're leaving behind, which does seem to be kind of intense, you're doing it so peacefully. And with these two queens, like heart and mind, right? It seems like you have found this ability, or you will find, because this is a reading on union. Maybe that's the point, is to be able to unite your heart and mind, to create that balance, that steadiness, that stability within yourself, to go ahead and leave all of this difficulty behind you, so that precious thing that you're carrying, that you are working toward, you can achieve, right? We see the Star, we see the Knight of Cups. I mean, it's absolutely going to happen for you, especially given the way that you are. Like, the way that this reading feels, it's so interesting because it's just so calm and so peaceful. Even while we see, like, you are walking away from something that was not easy, that was definitely strife and or full of strife and discomfort, to be sure. Especially, like, with the idea of the Emperor being, maybe a person in authority over you that did not exercise it respectfully. You're still coming across as being someone very grounded and balanced. We have the Justice at the bottom of the deck here, implying that balance, right? Temperance, Justice. There's so much balance here, either that you are already achieving or you will achieve. Absolutely. And I think in this reading on union, that's really what is being brought forward, is unite your heart and mind. In uniting your heart and mind, you can create such a balance that peace will overflow as you move away from this. This is the Six of Swords. It's a slow, peaceful moving away from those challenging situations, to the light, to peace, to freedom. No more of this kind of stuff. In this card, this one is grabbing her wand, kind of like making me feel like they're trying to pull you down and hide your light, keep you from shining, right? And especially with, a figure who may be in authority in some way, that could definitely be the case. And it can really be hard to walk away from something like that, keeping your peace. For the most part, you're going to want to be upset. You're going to want to be stressed and agitated and anxious. You don't know what you're headed to. But here we definitely see that just the answer is keep your balance between your heart and your mind, and you will peacefully reach the other shore to, your dreams coming true, to that life of abundance and fullness, fulfillment that you deeply want. You care for something very, very much. It means a lot to you. And you are working toward it. We saw the Eight of Pentacles. And if you haven't begun to walk away, this reading is definitely saying it's time. It's time to leave behind that toxic authority figure situation, the stress, the strife, and enter into a more balanced state of peace and serenity, so that you can bring forward this precious thing that you love so much, that deserves the light, that deserves attention, that deserves your care. Uniting heart and mind is where your focus should be right now. In order to experience the kind of peace needed to bring about this precious thing of yours. And it's clearly very precious. You're working on it. You care about it. It's your star and your Nine of Cups. And, whether it's guidance or you're already doing it, the only thing that's in discussion in your reading today is just hold the balance between your heart and mind, and you've got this. You're steadily moving away from this kind of experience, and you are steadily moving toward the thing that you love the most. And I'd say, man, great job. Being able to achieve this kind of energy is not easy, especially with what you're walking away from. And also being able to achieve this kind of energy is exactly what's needed for manifestation and for, achieving an abundant life that you can feel proud of. The balance and union within is what creates the balance and union without. So keep up that energy, that peaceful, serene energy of heart and mind united, and watch this precious thing unfold right before your very eyes, because it is happening. To see the star and the Nine of Cups together surrounding this Temperance card, it's clear that this precious dream or precious project that you're working on is absolutely going to take shape. Amazing job. You're very courageous and very powerful to be able to walk away from something like that and find your way to that kind of mindset, to that kind of union within yourself. It takes a lot of power and a lot of courage. And if nobody's told you that today, I'm proud of you. And so is heaven. So I wish you nothing but abundant blessings, and that your precious dream or project unfolds in the most beautiful way. You deserve it. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I will see you next time.